Yo, where's Jacob?
He went home sick.
I thought Jacob was here this morning. He hadn't put it down. Where's our microphone? I don't know. It's nice to know that if Jacob is sick or healthy, it doesn't matter to him because he can be mean to you. Oh. Yo. Okay. You know, after someone calls you because they don't like your voice, and they call you stupid, and then say you're not me. Everybody? Who called that? Jacob.
What?
That's a Jacob's mean.
Okay, so first thing, let's go to Google Classroom. And one thing I want you to do is to join this Quizzes. So just click on that link. And then you can join my class in Quizzes. We're going to start using that. And then if we go to classwork, we're going to go down to the bottom. We're still in the fifth 6 weeks. This is the 5th week of the 5th 6 weeks. And we go down to the bottom. The topic for this week is data analysis, or you might hear the word statistics. That's sort of the same thing, data analysis. Oh, I need to change this. Edit. I don't know why I did that. Schedule today, 8 a.m. Schedule, go away, saving, assign. Okay, so no Edgenuity this week. And this, I thought we're going to try this. This is in Quizzes. So this is on order of operations. So I just thought we'd try it out, take it for a spin, see how that works. Okay, then we have an ed puzzle on mean, median, and mode. And then the textbook in class. And then this is your packet. So your multiplication table. Math Minute, Math Detective. This is a griddable. And I can't tell you how many times people get the correct answer, but they grid it incorrectly. So I want you to practice griddable, gridding it correctly, so you get full credit for it. Okay, so that's there. That won't even take you like 5 minutes. Sudoku's extra credit and the quiz on Friday. Okay, so that is the plan for this week. Okay, so now we're going to go back to, if you'll go to your math book, page 783. And the first topic we're going to talk about is mean, or another word you can use is average. Mean and average are the same thing. Okay, except mean is more of a math term. Average is, well, I guess it's a math term, but anyway, maybe a little bit more mathy or something. Okay, so Tina and her friends downloaded songs for 6 weeks, as shown in the table at the right. So if you notice, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, and this shows the number of songs that they downloaded. So this week it was 12, that week it was 6, 10, 9, 4, and 1. And it says how many total songs were downloaded. So to figure that out, of course, we'd add all those across, right? And when we do, we get, that's 18, 28, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42. So that's a total of 42 songs that they downloaded in 6 weeks. So on average, how many songs did they download each week, right? So the total was 42. We're going to divide that by the number of weeks, which is 6. And then 6 goes into 42, 7. So the average or the mean of this data is 7. So they average about 7 songs a week. Okay.
Mr. Teague, what page are we on?
We're on page 783 in your math book.
Okay.
Number 3, on the line below, draw an arrow that points to the average plot, the number of songs downloaded and on the number line. Okay. So if you notice, if we went ahead and plotted this, right? So this is 12. This is 6. This is 10. This is 9. This is 4. This is 1. Right? And if you look at the way these numbers are and they're spread out, right? We have 1, 2, 3 numbers here. We have 1, 2, 3 numbers up here. Well, right in the middle, or the average, is right here, which is 7. Right? If you notice, there's 3 here and there's 3 here. So that's sort of the middle. That's the average. That's the mean. How far below the average? So the average is this, which is 7. How far below the average is 1, 4, and 6, and how far above the average is 9, 10, and 12, right? Which is your data up here, right? So if we look at it, out below, the number 1 is 6 below the average, right? And 4 is 3 below the average, which is 7. And 6 is 1 below the average, which is 7. And then if you go above, 9 is 2 above the average of 7. 10 is 3 above the average of 7, or mean of 7. And 12 is 5. Right? So another way to look at that, it says, what is the sum of the distances between the average and the points below the average and above the average? Right? So basically what it is just adding all these distances. So if we add them up, we get 6, 7, 8, 9, that's 10. So that's the average distance below. And if we add these numbers, 2 plus 3 is 5, 5 plus 5 is 10. So the distance for this above is 10. All right, so you can see the different ways that we look at it, that using this data, 7 is falling right in the middle, or the average. And you're even looking at the distances on a number line. So 6, explain why the average is the balance point of the data. So basically, the data above and below seven are balanced. Okay, so we're looking at the distance, it's right in the middle, right? We're looking at all the data, and that average is falling in between. Okay, so let's turn the page to 784. Top of the page, it says summarize data using the mean. Okay, the mean of a data set is the sum of the data divided by the number of pieces of the data. It is the balance point of the data set. So it's kind of like a teeter-totter, right? You have data on one side and data on the other, and your mean is what's right in the middle, okay? On the previous page, you found a single number to describe the number of songs downloaded each week. The average or mean of this summarizes the data using a single number. You can summarize data by determining the mean of a set of data shown in graphical displays such as pictographs and dot plots. The mean describes the center of the data distribution. The mean describes the center of the data distribution. The distribution of a set of data shows the arrangement of the data values. The distribution, how it's spread out. Distribution is how it's spread out. Okay, so here's another example. It says determine the mean cost of children's tickets for 5 different museums shown in the pictograph. Use the mean to summarize the center of the distribution. So as you can see here, the dollar sign is equal to $1, right? And it has these different museums. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different museums. Okay, and they're all different prices, right? This is more expensive than this one. This isn't as expensive as that one. So what they did is rearrange the symbols so that each museum has an equal number. So what we're doing here is we're just taking these extra dollar signs and they're moving them around to where they're all even, right? And when you do that, each museum costs an average of $9. The data are centered around a $9 ticket. Okay, so it's just another way to find the mean, to find the average. You want everybody to be equal, so you'd have to spread these out. So let's look at the problem at the bottom of the page. Is that better? Yep. Okay, so the table shows the number of CDs a group of friends bought. Determine the mean number of CDs the group bought. Use the mean to summarize the center of the distribution. Okay, so how many friends did we have? Well, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 friends, right? And one bought 3, one bought 4, one bought 6, one bought 0, one bought 2. Okay, so we need to find the mean. So if we take the mean is equal to, we're going to take 3 plus 4 plus 6 plus 0 plus 2. And we're going to divide that by the number of friends. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to divide all this by 5. So when we add this all up, right, that's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So that's 15 divided by 5. So 5 goes into 15, 3. So the mean or the average is that each one of the friends bought 3 CDs. That's the mean or the average. All you're doing is balancing out that data. Okay? So let's look at the top of the page. Here's another example, different kind of example. The dot plot, this kind of diagram here is what's called a dot plot. And because it has these dots. So you have this number line, and wherever you have a dot, that means that was a temp. So in this example, these were high temperatures. So on this line of data, that means that I had so I had 2 days that were 45 degrees. I had 1 day that was 47, 1 day that was 49, 1 that was 50, and 1 that was 52. But I want to find the mean, or I want to find the average, right? So I'm going to take 45 plus 45, 47, 49, 50, and 52. I'm going to add all those up, and I'm going to divide it by, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I have 6 days. So when I add that all up, I get 288. And then 288 divided by 6 gives me 48. So the mean is 48 degrees. So the average of those temperatures was 48 degrees. Okay, here's another dot plot. The dot plot shows the number of runs a baseball team had for each game of a 4-game series. Determine the mean number of runs for the series. Use the mean to summarize the center of the distribution. Okay, so here's my number line. Here's the number of points. Here's the 4 games that they played, right? So one game they had 1 point, one game they had 3, and they had 2 games where they had 4 points. Okay, so the mean is going to be equal to 1 plus 3 plus 4 plus 4, right? And the number of data items I have is 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the number of games. So I'm going to put the 4 here. So now I'm going to add these up. That's 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 12. So I have 12 over 4. 4 goes into 12 3 times. So the mean number of runs for the series is 3. The data are centered around 3 runs. Okay. Here's another one. The dot plot shows the number of books Deanna read each week of the reading challenge. Determine the mean number of books she read. Use the mean to summarize the center of the distribution. Okay, so we use our formula. Mean is equal to, right? We're going to have to add up all this data. So we have 1 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 plus 4. And how many data sets do I have? Well, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have 6. Okay, so I've got 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So that's 18 over 6. 6 goes into 18 3 times. So she averaged, or her mean was 3 books per week. Okay. Let's turn to page 786. Okay. Here's another example. This is a little bit different. This is where they give you the mean and you have to find a missing value. Okay. So they're kind of doing it backwards. When we're doing all these problems, right, we didn't know the mean. We had to find the mean. Here they're giving us the mean and we have to find a missing piece of data. Okay, so the number of minutes Mary Ann spent talking on her cell phone each month for the past 5 months was 494, 502, 486, 690, 478. Suppose the mean of the 6 months was 532 minutes. How many minutes did she talk on her cell phone during the 6th month? Right? So they gave you the mean already. So what we did is they created a bar graph for you. This is 6 months, right? This is month 1, month 2, month 3, month 4, month 5, month 6. Okay? So we know the average or the mean of this is 532 per month. So if we take 532 times 6, right, we get 3,192. So this whole bar graph has the value of 3,192. And then we're going to then we have these values, 494, 502, 486, 690, 478. We're looking for this box right here. We don't know. So what we're going to do, we know the whole box, the whole bar graph is 3,192 minutes. Well, we're going to subtract 494, 500. We're going to add all this up and subtract it, which is 2,650. So if I have this whole line here and I subtract this, I should find the value of this square right here. So if I take 3,192 minus 2,650, I get 542. So the value for this square right here is 542. Okay. Okay. Moving down the page. The dot plot shows the number of beads sold. Determine the mean number of beads. Use the mean to summarize the center of the distribution. Okay. So this is the number of beads, and this is how many they sold. So this is each sale, right? So they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different people that came in. One person bought 5 beads. 3 people bought 7 beads. Two people bought 8. Okay. So we're just going to use our formula, right? So mean is equal to, right? It's 5 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 8 plus 8. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different sales. So when I add this all up, I get 42. And 42 divided by 6 is equal to 7. So my average sale was 7 beads. Okay. Okay, number 2. This problem is going to be just like this one up here. Just like this one, except they're using some different kinds of numbers. So the table shows the area of various lakes in Texas rounded to the nearest 10. If the average area is 45.96 square miles, what is the approximate area of Lake Palestine, right? So we don't know this one, okay? But we do know the average is 45.97, right? So if we take 45.97 times 6, right? Because we have 6 lakes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? When we multiply that out, we get 275.82 square miles. Okay. So now we need to add all these up. And when we add all these up, we get 235.90. Okay, so I know the average for all 6 lakes is 275.82. And I know that value is 235.90. So if I take 275.82 minus 235.90, I get 39.92 miles squared. And that's what goes right here. So I know that Lake Palestine is 39.92. Exact same problem as this one up here. Okay, number 3, building on the essential question, why is it helpful to determine the mean of a data set? Okay, the mean, oops, let me move this up. The mean gives averages of the data set which is a summary of the center of the data using a single number. Okay. Okay, we're gonna move up. Gonna move up to the top of the page, and then we're gonna jump to another chapter. Okay, so real quickly, here's another piece of data. It's graphed a little bit differently, right? This is Texas skyscrapers. So if you notice on this axis here, we have the number of stories or the number of floors that this skyscraper has, right? And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 skyscrapers, right? And this one has 75 floors, 72, 53, 62, 69. Okay. So we want to find the mean or the average of the number of floors for the skyscrapers. Okay. So our formula is mean is going to be equal to, it's going to be 75 plus 72 plus 53 plus 62 plus 69, right? And that's over 5. Okay. And if you add all of these up, you get a number of 331. And 331 divided by 5, because we have 5 skyscrapers, right? So the average or the mean is 66.2 floors. Okay. 24. Okay. So here's another dot plot, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's 6 different purchases. And this is the number of flowers that were bought at each sale, right? So you have your mean. That's what we're looking for, is the mean, right? So we're going to do 12 plus 12 plus 14 plus 15 plus 15 plus 16. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we add all these up, we get 84. And we have 6. And when you divide that, you get 14. So the mean or the average for that set of data is 14. Okay, so now let's jump. We're going to jump to page 791. And here we're talking about median and mode. Okay. Just some more different terms. We're still talking about measures of the center of data. Okay. So you can also summarize a data set using the median and the mode. The mean, median, and mode are called measures of center because they describe the center of the set of data. Find the definition for each term in the glossary, then complete the graphic organizer, okay? Well, I'm not going to ask you to go find them. I'm going to give them to you. I just want you to write them down, okay? Okay, so these are all measures of center. We've been talking about mean, or the same thing as average, right? Same thing. So the sum of a number in a set of data divided by the number of pieces of data. And that's what we did in those other examples, right? We took all our numbers, we added it up, and we divided by the number of pieces of data. We got a mean or an average. Okay, the median is the value appearing at the center that's an N, center of a sorted set. Oh, I'm sorry, sorted, I'm sorry. A sorted version of a list for the mean of the two central values. Okay, so that's the median. Now we have mode. Mode is the numbers, the number or items that appear most often in a set of data. Okay. So if we slide down the page, where are we? 204. Okay, we'll finish the page and then I'll do it. Okay, so a real world investigation. The table shows the number of Atlantic hurricanes in different years, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 7 years, right? Yep, 7. Order the data from least to greatest and circle the number in the middle of your list, okay? So the very smallest number we have is 4. Then we have 5, right? Then we have 5, 6, then we have 7. Then we have 8. Then we have 9. Then we have 9. And then we have 15, okay? So we ordered it from smallest to greatest, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 numbers. Circle the number in the middle of your list, right? So we have 1, 2, 3 here. We have 1, 2, 3 here. So the number in the middle of my data is 8. Okay. Determine the mean. Compare the middle number to the mean of the data, round to the nearest hundredth if necessary. Okay. So now if we're supposed to take these numbers and find the mean, right? We take, so our mean is equal to 4 plus 5 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 plus 9 plus 15. And we're going to divide that by 7 because we have 7 years, right? So when we add all that up, we get 57. And 57 divided by 7 gives you 8.14. And they want us to round it to the nearest hundredth, right? So this doesn't, so really this comes to this we would round to 8, right? Because this isn't bigger than 5, that's not bigger than 5, so that's 8. And if you notice, your mean is the same as finding the center of that data. Okay? Okay. We are going to, well, let's do this top part. Just to bring it. So the median is a list of values. Is the value appearing at the center of a sorted version of the list, or the mean of two central values in the list contains an even number? So what they're saying is the median is you put it from least to greatest, and then you find the center. That's what a median is. The mode is the number of the number of numbers that occur the most often. So in this example, your mode would be 9 because you have 2 9s. So your mean is 8, your median is 8, and your mode is 9. Okay. So that just sort of, so today we went over median. We went over mean, we went over median, and we went over mode. Okay, and we'll continue this on. And then we'll jump to another chapter, which is measure of the spread. So we'll finish that up and go into that. Okay. Okay, so it is now 2:08. You guys may log off, go to period 7. Don't forget your packet. Google Classroom, make sure to check focus in case you forgot to turn something in for last week.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so we are going to stop recording.